Hi, Robbie Mac. We're not here. Hey everybody, I'm Glenn.
I'm Xander.
Together we are Fun King 3D, and I want you guys to know that Xander just got to push the button to start the stream, and he was giving me a hard time about it because I always get a little bit of anxiety before a live stream because, as you know, if you've ever live streamed, something will always go wrong. And he's like, "Can I push the button?" So I let him, and then he said, "Whew, now I understand what you mean. It's a lot of anxiety to push that button." So. Oh, there's so many of you guys. I probably should stop announcing these before we do them. So, but Robbie Max in the house, Brian Vines, that's Brian with a Y and Vines with an I. Don, the German printing nerd, is here. Adventures in 3D printing. Mike Wiley's here. Martin from 3DP Iceland is here. You guys just chat so much, then I'm going to end up missing somebody. Mad Mike 8 is here.
What?
Derek, did I miss somebody?
What? It says unmute right there.
That's unmute where we'd hear ourselves.
Oh, okay.
All right. So, thanks for the interruption.
I'm sorry. I was scared.
No, I'm pretty sure you guys can hear us, right? I watch my little meter moving around. Not that I'm reading the chat. I'm way back up in the chat. Derek Matthews is here. Robo Tuto is here. I have a camera in my way, and I'll explain that in just a minute. Justin is here.
James is here.
Oh yeah, that James guy. That's really funny, James. My wife read that. She chuckled at that. Roses are red, violets are blue. In a few short moments, Fun King will hang out with you. Paul Cumber is here. Hello, Paul. Vince, 3D Medic Vince is here. Thomas Elrod is here.
Written place scares me sometimes.
Why?
You just remember, half the people watching are pooping.
Well, sometimes that's true. I don't know if half, though. That's a lot, James.
He scares me.
Do you have numbers to back that up, like statistical data to back up half?
He scares me.
It's a Canadian thing. All right, so first and foremost, the reason that we are here today is because the contest to give away a 1-month subscription to Rhino3D's Rhino Reel, rhinoreel.com, that contest actually ended, I think it was last Sunday night. And here it is all the way Sunday night again. So yes, it did take me a week to gather up enough of myself to get in here and do this. We should have done it sooner, but don't be a poop disturber. Now they're hurrying up and wiping and getting off the pot because they know you know. So, I make things. He said I'm here, but I just got a call now and I have to leave. Well, sorry. Thanks for being here for the time that you were here. Paul wants to know how your summer is, Xander.
It's good, Paul. How is yours?
All right, so anyway, the way that I want to do this today, the reason that there is a camera sitting in front of Xander, not that I don't normally pile things in front of Xander so that you can't see them, but one of my biggest complaints with Gleam, I love their service. I love the fact that you can do it for free, but I've reached out to them with this suggestion, and that is when you draw the name, it puts all of the information out there. And I truly believe that you should be able to do a drawing without showing the personal data, and then have a way to go in and get the personal data after. So up until now, we've done it like a lot of other people have done it, where we are drawing, and hi Glenn and Dander. That's a funny mistype. But where we do the drawing, we record it, and then I edit out the data and put it out there. But the issue with that is then you guys don't get to see the drawing live. And I think it's more fun if you can see the drawing live. So what we're going to do is I'm actually going to use screen share. I'm going to punch up the screen. I guess I'm going to have to move the chat to a different screen. And then we're going to pull up the Gleam, and I'm going to show you. Just got to get to that. So let me know that you guys can read this, because I had to turn the exposure down on it to be able to, where it wasn't washed out. But you can see that the contest has ended. There is 777 entries. And we can come over here.
Well, how come we don't have any entries?
Because we're not allowed to enter our own contest.
I could, but whatever.
No, you can't.
I can't?
No.
How am I not allowed to?
Because you work for Fun King, and Fun King's not allowed to win.
But it would be really funny if I actually won.
No, that would be cheating. All right, so as you guys can see, I was just looking at chat. Now you guys can't see me. I can make faces at you. As you can see, there is one prize left, and there has been no winners drawn. So what I'm going to do?
Llama.
He said I just uploaded my first Octolapse. Those Octolapse.
Yeah, but people are saying cool llama and stuff. What?
Yes, because it's Thomas Llama.
Oh. Okay.
They're not like, you know, cool that he won. Nobody's won. See, there's no. But what I have to do, I'm gonna bring you back. I'm gonna bring you back over here to look at us. I'm gonna click to draw the winner, and then I'm gonna take a handy dandy Post-it note and stick it over the top of the personal information. So for some reason there's something written on every Post-it note. I'm gonna stick a Post-it note over the information, and then I'll flip back to that screen. It's the best way that I could come up with, so that you don't see the person's. I don't want to put anybody's email address and stuff out there. So I guess without further ado. Drum roll, please. I'm going to, and again, I'm going to punch over there real quick. There you see, I haven't drawn. Going back to the main camera, clicking on draw the winner. Oh no, we don't want that person to win. Oh wait, no, it's a different screen. And we are drawing. I guess I need to block that information right there, which is probably still going to show. These Post-it notes are kind of thin, so let's put 2. Is the suspense killing you guys? Like, you know, because I know who won and you don't. I guess I can leave his city up there. That's all right. It was just, I didn't want you to see his email address. Now, of course, I'm going to punch this over, and the Post-it notes are going to peel off of there. The winner is Tyler Tao. I think that's how you say that. T-A-O.
It shows.
Oh, I did that wrong. All right, don't anybody go back and look at his information. I knew I would screw that up. Tyler Tao from Charleston, South Carolina, right here in the U.S., which is awesome. I did not have to. Invalidate anybody. So Tyler, I will be reaching out to you. I don't know if you're in here or not, but I will be reaching out to you to let you know that you won. Please don't anybody email them ahead of time. Yes, Brian Vines, that was a fail. That's what I get for trying to be fancy about all of this. Next time I'll just record it and edit it out. Really, anybody out there that uses Gleam, do me a favor and write to their support and tell them that there needs to be a way to draw a name without showing the information. And maybe there is, and they just never told me. That was funny. That was not funny. That was horrible. What if?
Yeah, that was funny.
What if now he gets all kinds of unsolicited email that he never wanted?
Well, then it would be all your fault.
So everybody right now in the channel, send Tyler an email and be like, hey, we're all friends of Fun King 3D. No, don't do that.
The raid to the next level.
Yeah. Super raid. All right, now I got to adjust my screens back around so that I'm looking at the right stuff.
You'd probably get a new email.
I know I would. Whew. Well, that's good. So it was a U.S. winner. Congratulations, Tyler. We're excited for you. If you are watching this and you don't know what you entered to win,
you get filament.
You are going to get a 1-month subscription to Rhino Reel, which you get 2 3/4 kilo refill rolls of filament like this of your choice out of their, I think, nine selections or their mystery roll. You don't get a spool. You have to print your own. This is the slant. The slant spool.
What if you don't have any filament?
Then you can buy a spool, or you can buy a spool of filament and print a spool.
But then doesn't that defeat the purpose?
You got to start somewhere. So, my condolences to all of those that didn't win. You and your newfangled Post-it notes. Hey, nothing but the highest tech stuff here at Fun King 3D. You get a spool with a sticker. I see some new people in here that I don't know, and I'm going to try, and I'm trying to subdue everyone, so everybody please solve each other. Mike, I have no idea what you just said, brother. Oh, Butch is in here. Hi, Butch.
Ooh, I think Harley is in here.
Oh, Butch told me to tell him when we went live, and I forgot to text him.
And Harley is also in here.
But he still got the notification. Oh, Harley's in here too. Hello, Harley, wherever you are. Oh, there he is. Yeah. You screen shared. Wah wah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Do it better, Canadian printing nerd. Oh wait, no. That's it. Let's all change our name to something printing nerd. Like we can be the Florida printing nerd.
But what would be country or excuse you?
He could be country printing nerd.
But we can be the Fun King 3D printing.
You're putting way too much thought into this.
I know I am.
Boy, that chat's going by so fast I can't read it. Hey, who's everyone? Hello, Rover. Hey, Ricker. Hey, hi, Ricky. You do it. Hey, John. No, you do it as Matt. How I do it's John. God, get in the loop, would you?
When I did that, Irv, he said, "You've been waiting to do that all day, haven't you?"
I've been a Xander fan for a while. That's Tella 3D Prints. Tella, I don't know if we've ever seen you in here. Yeah. And if we haven't, welcome. And if we have, I've said a million times, I'm terrible with names.
King printing nerd.
King printing nerd. So I actually do see some new names, not necessarily faces, but some new names in the group. So if you'd like to share first names with us, we would love that. I won't necessarily remember it, but I always try to at least get to know one person each time. And these streams have gotten to the point that are so cool that like you guys talk some, I don't even have to talk. I mean, you guys it's just like I don't even have to. I just watch it go by. But well, John, thanks for being here. You know, it's always awesome to have everybody even pop in for a minute. So be careful on your trek to the beach.
The nerd.
Hey, Rover. Rover said congrats, but I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be congrats on your win, and I believe that you are talking about my awesome win of the micro tools for removing supports. I'm always excited to win stuff.
Nerdy 3D.
Print and Play is Pedro. He's Pedro, eh? I don't know if those two work together. Did you announce the winner yet? Yes, it was Tyler Tao out of South Carolina. I think you know me, but I did change. Yeah. Yeah, I know who you are, Mike. You guys keep changing your name too. That messes with me. Epic Prince is Mick. I don't think we have a Mick, so that'd be our first Mick, at least that we know of. So, and Mick is Epic.
Epic Mick.
I'm just trying to come up with something so I can remember. I'm terrible with names, so. And Paul Cumber says, "Love you guys." Of course, we love you too, Paul. You're definitely a friend of the channel and friend of the family. She's in Wildwood. It's funny that you have a Wildwood too. We have a Wildwood that's about 20 minutes from here, but it doesn't have a beach.
Mick, the Epic printer guy.
I have a question. Is it possible that the hot end gets a fear of heights?
I hope not.
I think it would take a pretty big printer.
I hope not.
You have a cool mouse. Oh yeah, that's well, this isn't even the cool one. This is the older style trackball from Logitech. I have the newer one over on my regular workstation that I use every day, and it's the ergo style one, and it's really, really sweet. Just here for Xander's jokes. So Thomas Print Frog B is here for my jokes that you tell.
No, Google's jokes that I tell.
Sometimes it's Google jokes, yeah. Well, I got to change my name because I hit my 100 subscribers thanks to you guys and Walter. Well, that's cool. That's awesome. No, I'm not really picking on you, but you know, like Uncle Ron. Where is Uncle Ron? Uncle Ron, like he went through a couple different name changes, but he changed it to the brew it, print it, blast it, feed it, bend it, make it, bake it, fake it, schmake it, whatever that long, and then he got tired of us picking on him, so he just changed it to Uncle Ron.
And then and then there was a, I just don't know anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. Terrible with names, King 3D, yeah, pretty much so. I warn you about that stuff all the time. I've actually done really well learning as many as I have. I'm just really bad about names. My father always said I don't remember people's names because I'm more interested in myself than other people. And I'm like, well, of course that's true. I mean, what's not to be interested about this?
A lot of things, actually. We should honestly
my wife's over here sighing and huffing.
We should honestly really send you to science.
To science?
Yes, to science, so that they can study a new creature. It's always bald.
Wow, that's where you always have to go, huh? To the bald? Hang printer from Eiffel Tower might get a fear of heights. Not sure that my printer itself would get a fear of heights. Xander, on the other hand, not so good with heights. I get lousy print if it's higher than 40 millimeter. That's interesting. Does it literally, like, does it do really nice prints and at 40 millimeters something goes wrong? Because you could have a bad lead screw, and it may be then kicking it out of level. That's interesting. That tower is quite an eyeful. Did you get my email, Glenn? When did you send it? I don't remember seeing anything from you, so if you sent it recently, no, it's on that machine over there. Ben Craig in the house. I can't use a trackball. You gotta get used to it. I started using a trackball at a company I work for where, like, we just had a certain number of workstations and everybody used whatever workstation, and I hated it. I didn't like people using my workstation, so I put an ergonomic keyboard and a trackball on it, and nobody else would use my workstation. And I've been using it ever since, and that was 20 some odd years ago.
Is that your keyboard that you have now?
Yeah, where it's split.
Yeah, I can't use that one.
I know, that's why I like it. People leave my stuff alone. Oh, Butch said something naughty and then retracted it. I don't even know what he said. Just call me Robo, easy to remember. Oh, for Robo Tuto? Okay, we can go with Robo. We have a lovely Robo sitting right back here. The R1 Plus. Paul said hello. She said hi, Paul. Yeah, for those of you who tuned into our live stream that we did from Washington, D.C., where my wife joined us on camera, you got lucky because that is a very rare occurrence. So, Tate is here. Where should I start, Glenn? He's not bald. That's a solar collector for an awesome machine. Oh, yeah! The awesome machine. Lead screw, something to look at, not exactly 40 millimeters, but about. Well, I'm curious if it happens at like the same, you know, whether or not it's 40 millimeters. Does it happen at the same height every time, or really close to it? I just seen somebody just posted something. I want to say it was on Twitter that they had a flaw. There was a flaw in the lead screw. Take the lead screw off, flip it over, and stick it back down on there, and see if the problem goes away. That'd be really interesting.
Uncle Ron is here.
Uncle Ron is in the house.
Yay.
Oh, hello, Sir Vines. Let's not go that far. We can go with Mr., but Sir might be just a little too far. The Kensington Turbo Mouse. I remember that one with the big ball. Yeah, I like this one, so I feel special. Glenn sang my name. Well, that shouldn't make you feel special. That should make you feel like crushed, as awesome as my singing is. I ruling Queen 3D icing off in the sideline. I don't know if that was supposed to be icing. Hiding. Oh, hiding off in the sideline. You know, autocorrect does some really weird stuff. She's over there baking me a cake and she's icing. No, Jeepers Creepers, does Xander use Miracle Grow shampoo? I know, right? I mean, you guys just seen that he had his hair. The lady that cut his hair did a terrible job, though. It was at an angle like this, so I'm glad that it's growing out and it's kind of leveling off. And then if you're watching a Xander's Thing Thursdays, like sometimes he has short hair, and then the next week he has really long hair, and then really short hair. Because I told you guys, we film him in advance. I will tell you, though, we have 51 episodes filmed. We have not done the 52nd episode, which will be his 1-year mark.
We should do something special.
That's what I was just about to say. We want to do something special. So if you guys have any input, I would prefer you email it to me, because if you put it in the chat, I won't remember what you said. So, but
it's almost been a year.
On board the plane using the last bits of UK internet. Well, I'm glad that you've decided to use the last bits of the internet with us, Martin. How do you get Sir Glenn? Well, you have to be knighted to be a sir. You have to be knighted by a king or a queen. Harley said, have Priscilla come on camera again. She said, she wrinkled her face like that too.
Well, you're the fun king. Please. Whack my shoulders with the sword.
Oh, I'd like to whack your shoulders with the sword. I'll go get the Sir Robin of Locksley.
God, no.
No, I guess I would have to use Excalibur for that one time. Can't use those thumb balls like that. I'm left-handed. Well, that is definitely an issue for a lefty. No, you can't. It's impossible. I'm surprised they never made a left-handed. I mean, it would be the same electronics, just
backwards.
Just molded backwards, yeah. How do you get a raft off a print that don't come off easy? Oh, yeah, rafts and supports are the bane of my existence.
The supports are the worst.
The raft, you can generally just kind of work around the bottom. Oh, no, raft. I was thinking brim. Oh, yeah. No, if it doesn't come off easy, then you may have had the gapping between the raft and the print itself too tight. You may not actually get it off. So, 54 weeks. Didn't he take off 2 weeks? Well, technically he missed 1 week.
Yeah.
But the episodes are by week number. So it would technically be 54 weeks, because, well, no, Zach and I did one of his numbered. So he'll have actually done 51 episodes, but it's 52 weeks of Xander's Thing Thursday. So
that one was a special.
So you can't be a sir during the day? Oh, because you're knighted.
Well,
you would have got that if you were a dad.
Dade me.
Dade you?
Dade.
Sedate you?
Sedate me.
Should I run and kidnap the... I don't even think you're allowed to say that, Martin. I think that's like making threats against the president here. He was going to go... Well, no, he didn't say queen, though. He said queen, so I guess it's okay.
Yeah, I guess it's fine.
Belt sander. Yeah, belt sander would do it. It'd be messy, though.
What?
Let Xander do it. He loves wraps and supports.
No.
Well, and thanks to Ben Craig, we got some new tools coming. I must go, guys. In Europe, time is 22:21. All right, well, Robo, thank you for being here. Have a good evening. I send you one that did not come off easy. I'll send you one that you can work on. So I didn't really line anything else up for this live stream. I really just wanted to give that away and hang out with you guys for a bit.
Why are you pulling that up?
Why am I pulling what up?
Rhino.
Why would I pull up Rhino? That's a terrible program to pull up. I can do a little screen sharing.
So now you're going to do Rhino?
Beat the security filter. Yeah, I'm just going to sit here and work on the printer. It takes forever to open.
I'll go.
No. Scoot back up to the table. Is that a tool or a suggestion for Glenn? Oh, Belt Xander. Belt Xander. Yeah, every one of our videos in the keywords, I have to spell his name with the X, which is the way it's supposed to be spelled, with a Z and with an S. That way, if anybody searches for Sanders Thing Thursday or XANDR or ZANDR, they'll all come up. So I got to get going. I'm making a special request video, and it's time to start recording again. Be good, y'all, and smash the like button. Well, thank you, Ben, for being here. We all know how it is to film. Everybody should just film on Saturday morning, so it's at the same time that we do it. That way, you know, it's not conflicting.
Okay.
AJ is here. That's the alternate James, and he is saying hi to everybody. Sanders with a Z on the end. That's actually what his football coach always called him. Wasn't it? Xanders. Yeah, they always put an S on the end. Throw it to Xanders. But he's only one Xander.
And then one of the coaches called me like Z. But I never complained about it because they always had a football in their hand.
And they would just like bean you in the face.
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah, it's gonna be really laggy, but I want to throw this up on the screen. I'm gonna move my chat back over to here, and I'm going to move this over to here. Now I know a lot of you guys have already seen this, and I've posted it to Twitter, and it's all I've been talking about lately, and it's all I'm going to talk about for a while. But there is the FK1. And that is the, I don't want to call it a remix. It's the latest iteration of it. And again, this came because I showed the pictures to Sanjay from E3D, and he stared at it for about 10 seconds without saying anything, and it felt like 10 minutes. And he immediately asked me why I made the extruder move on the long axis instead of on the short axis. And I said, well, it's because I'm an idiot and you are a genius. And I came home and I've now put another about 20 hours, I guess, into it, remanipulating the frame to make it work. But now the extruder moves on an axis that's just over 400 millimeters to cut down the mass, and it should work. It should work beautifully. Freaking cool one. And he said it should be green, but it's not. It's yellow. It when you highlight inside a Rhino, when you click on stuff, it turns yellow. So if you make the parts, like if you color them yellow and then you click on them, you can't tell that you've highlighted it. So I just chose the green, and I'm not going to render it or we'll lose the stream. It'll crash. But when I render this out, it actually renders all the plastic in yellow. So, and
so laggy.
yeah, it is definitely laggy on here. That's funny that you should say that, Tom, because Uncle Ron just sent me a link this morning to somebody on eBay that sells yellow extruded or yellow anodized 80/20 15 series, but that's not the right stuff. But I think that would be too much yellow. I think the black and yellow, like the AM8, is going to be just the right amount. You know, dark and mysterious with a splash of color. So, but no, I'm really excited about it. It's all I'm going to talk about for a while. I will mention it a billion times on Twitter. I will talk about it in every live stream we do. And if it gets annoying, you guys can tell me, but I'm going to still talk about it because I'm really proud of it. So, and it's if it works. I mean, if it doesn't work, it's going to be a big disappointment. But if that thing works, I'm going to be thrilled, and I will be able to print whatever we want. I don't want this to sound wrong. So let me preface this with I could buy my own large format printer, but as of this point, anybody who has offered me a printer, as far as like GearBest or Banggood, I've always asked for. Well, I've been trying to get a Creality CR10. I'm now actually working directly with Creality, but they want to send me the CR20, which is still a small format printer. It's like the only large format printer I've gotten is this E12, and I have nothing nice to say about it. And all of a sudden, now I look at it and it's like, well, nobody's going to send me a large format printer. I'll just build my own, and it's going to be even bigger than everybody else's. So, Uncle Ron, are there LED tracks? I don't know what you mean. Like, am I going to put lighting in the tracks? Possibly. It's not real high on the priority list. I want it to be a printer first, and then we'll jazz it up afterwards. You can print your own keyboard. You mean musical keyboard, like piano? Probably. Can definitely print a keyboard, but I can't wait to see a built version. I feel exactly the same way. The board that's going in it as of right now is the Einstein board, and I'm in negotiations of getting a discount on that through Printed Solid, because Matt at Printed Solid is awesome, and I didn't ask for that. He offered that, so we're going to work that out. The printing size on that is 400 by 1200 by, it's actually, I say 470, or I say 450, but it'll actually be closer to 475. So 16 inches by 48 inches by about 18 inches if you want to do it in Imperial. So when can I get new 3D printer? Paul, if all goes according to plan and somebody doesn't come to me with a huge check, and I don't mean like physically large, I mean big numbers, and offer to buy the design, my full intentions are to make sure that it works and then release it to the world so that anybody can build one. So, but I will forewarn you, it's not cheap. It's not going to be a cheap build at all. So, and there's going to be some work behind it. It's not going to be just a quick bolt up kit, because you can't buy the extrusion that I'm using in, well, you can buy it in pre-cut sizes, but it's ridiculously expensive to go through the company to cut it. So you're gonna have to cut it yourself. The way the bed mounts and stuff, you're gonna have to be able to drill and tap holes in 1/4 inch thick aluminum plate. So, but we'll work through all of that. So, oh, look who's here! It's Nightbot. Well, Nightbot loves hanging out with us. They like to remind you that super chat is appreciated, and that if you're looking for us elsewhere, we are Fun King 3D just about everywhere. That was my thought too, though yours is much bigger on the x-axis. Well, okay, so for those of you who didn't hear the story, this whole thing started well, it started in my head a little bit before Murph, but and that was Murph with an M, the one back in March in Goshen. I got to meet Gordon from G-Create, and if you've never checked out their stuff, their printers are magnificent.
And big.
Well, they made the G-Create big, but they made it for in-house use only. And I went to him and I said, listen, I love the G Create Big. I want a G Create Big. I can't afford a G Create Big, so I'm going to rip you off and build my own. And that's exactly how I put it to him. And he looked me square in the eyes and he said, do it. Do it. It is so much fun. Do it. And he said he was just messing around in the shop one afternoon and put that thing together in a few hours. And he's like, you got to do it. And then he was kind enough to take me over and show me some of the issues that he had putting it together, some of the things that I should change. And he sent me all the dimensions on it and stuff. And so I began that design, and I had to go bigger. His was 42 inches wide. I had to go 48 inches wide because you have to have the biggest heat bed on the block. And so then this guy I know, James from Print and Play, says to me one day, well, have you taken into consideration, well, he said, how much does the bed weigh? And I said, well, it's about 16 pounds. And he said, what about all the filament you're going to put on it? And I said, oh, I didn't consider all that. So he said, make the bed not move. So I tore the whole design down and redid it again. Luckily, just digitally, not physically. And it got a stationary bed. And then, as I just said, I showed it to Sanjay from E3D. And so I came home, tore it down again. But so far, I'm very pleased with the design. So Printed Solid is my favorite candy store. Yeah, I would be in trouble if I lived too close to them, that's for sure. I mean, they offer free shipping, so I don't know, but you know, just when you go someplace, you're more apt to buy something. So, yeah, it's up with chat. In fact, my connection blipped. What is that Xander has? I want one. All right, go ahead and show him your deal.
It's a light. It's actually
don't tell the secret. Show them your tricks.
So it's a light and it's food. Want it?
You got to show it to the camera.
Want
here, throw here. You ready? Yeah, you're not picking. You're hiding it from the camera. You got to show it. You got to show it to the audience. So maybe we'll start selling those.
Wait, what?
No. Tell them what it's called. I can't remember what it's called.
It's Brights Bugs.
That's right. Brights Bugs with Z's on the end of them. You can get them. You can get them on Amazon. So, but they're fun. They're fun to play with. When we were on vacation in DC after IRF, every place that we went at a gift shop, and every gift shop we hit, Zach wanted something. Can I get something? Can I get something? Can we go to the gift shop? Can we go to the gift? And so he ended up getting them. But Xander is at that point in his life where he's kind of like between toys and clothes. Like he just doesn't find anything he wants. And so he's like, well, can I get those? So I had to order them for him. Not that you guys needed that information. I just thought I'd share. Oh, and John is back. Patrick is here. Hey, Glenn and Xander. I got a cough. I'm on mute. I was trying to hold it back, but it wanted to come out. Hey, Glenn and Xander. Hey, guys. Sorry I'm late. I fell asleep at my desk. I do that all the time. I specifically picked my desk chair so I could sleep in it. Good afternoon, everyone, from Christopher Teller. Going to be an all-star 3D printer with various suggestions. Well, that is true, but you know, it's not about the all-star. It's about, I mean, anybody that wants to give me input. Listen, I'm open to suggestions. I just don't want anybody to be offended if I don't take your suggestion. Because a lot of people have offered up some pretty valid things that that either doesn't work for my goals or it's something I've actually considered. I've had multiple. It's funny. I've had multiple people say to me, with the size of that, you could do more than one print head so that you could print more than one object at a time, which is definitely something that I've considered. Of course, now that I've changed the access to run on the short, I would have to make a whole nother trolley, but that's neither here nor there. Uncle Ron had a cool idea where he said, just don't put a bed on it at all, and you could just set it down on a flat floor and print. but which would be cool. You just take it and you put down a piece of MDF or whatever as your bed, kind of like the hang printers do. But my goal for that printer, and I haven't decided exactly where it's going to sit. It's probably going to be back here behind me so that it's very, very predominant in every video. But I want a perfectly flat print surface. I want it's not auto bed leveling, auto mesh bed leveling assistance, whatever you want to call it. I want that thing to print beautifully every time I push the button, like these two. The AM8 and my Prusa work fantastically. I'm getting ready to add the auto bed leveling to the AM8 as well. So, but all right, Uncle Walt, if you're not already gone, have a good one. He told us to be good. Well, that's the end of this stream. Only issue I'm having with my Einstein board is I'm getting salmon skin on large surfaces. Interesting. Do you think that that's actually related to the board, though? Could it be something else? I don't know. I went to the Einstein board one because, well, I mean, the Rambo Mini was always a good board. This one was reworked for Prusa. I like the fact that it's got the better screw connections already built into it, that you don't have the crap power connections and stuff. So I don't know. It was also suggested to me to go with a Duet board, but I really want something that runs Marlin firmware. So it's just as weird as it's going to be. So I have about 16 millimeters of filament sticking up out of the extruder. I am almost at the end of a print. Here's hoping the G code runs out before the filament does. That's unnerving. You might have to start feeding another color in behind it. What size extrusion you want to use on it at this point? 4080? Nope, it's all 2040 actually. There's a couple pieces of 2020 in there across. Let's see if I can pull that back up. There is 2020 here. And the reason for that, let me see if I can zoom in and get a better angle so you can see. The belt pulley for the X-axis is here in the 2040. So I did a piece of 2020 across just to lock those two sides together. This is the greatest way that I've ever shown this off. And then I seen there was somebody asked, I'll have to go back and look, somebody asked about the extruder. It is a direct drive. As of right now, it is a Bondtech extruder. Come on. It is a Bondtech extruder with an E3D V6 hot end. The hot end at this point is kind of non-negotiable. Because E3D was already awesome enough to sponsor it and send me the hot end. I would have definitely considered the Mosquito hot end for it as well, but in fairness, it was my fault for not thinking about it ahead of time. And I should have, so that it, I mean, they're a Florida company. I would have liked to have supported them. Rennie is here. Hello, Rennie.
Martin has to go.
All right, Martin, have a safe flight, brother. Bye, UK internet bits. Yeah, those slow UK internet bits. Get back to your Iceland bits. I'm not sure where that. Oh yeah, it was Rover that asked. Where you go direct drive or Bowden? It'll definitely direct drive. I hate Bowden setups. Hate it with a passion. So, and the reason I say on the Bondtech for now is I haven't made any commitments to Bondtech on that. It's so if I can, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a Bondtech setup. I've gotten whispered in my ear that there may be something else coming to the market, and so it may go that way as well. But that's all I can. I probably shouldn't have even said that much. Forget I even said that. Strike that from the record. We are well, Rennie, and I hope you are well as well, and I hope your wife is doing better. Not sure, but never had it on the old. Only diffs in the printer. Well, now let me ask you, the old board, was there something wrong with it? Could you put the old board back in temporarily and see if the problem goes away? That would be interesting. And I say that like it's just plug and play. It never is, but why not using 2040 for the frame? I am using 2040 for the frame. I'm actually considering the bottom in 2060 to lift it up a little bit so that I can put the power supply and main board underneath, but that was a thought that came to me at church today while I was paying attention to the sermon, and that's just how my brain works sometimes. And so I'm thinking that, you know, it'll give me an extra 20 millimeters of lift, plus it'll make the frame more rigid. So I may go that way as well. I'm also trying to keep. I'm not cheaping out on this at all. Like I'm not trying to find the cheapest pulleys. I'm trying to find the cheapest good pulleys. You know, I want good stepper motors. I don't want, you know, the cheapest stepper, you know. So I'm not necessarily trying to go cheap, but I'm also trying to keep it to where it's, I mean, if I put this thing together and it's $3,000, it isn't worth it. You know, for $3,000, I could have bought something. So, I mean, not with a 48-inch bed, I guess, but I'm trying to do it as efficiently as possible without skimping anywhere. So, and the way the frame is redesigned now, by having that extra height on the bottom, it'll make the uprights more rigid as well. So, yeah.
I will come and get you.
Yeah, prefer the Einstein over the Duet generally. Yeah, I think it was actually you, Tom, that I had to chat with about that. So, Chris Lane is a big advocate for the Duet, and I know that Walter has used it on one of his printers as well. But I like Marlin's firmware. That's kind of really what it's coming down to. Is I'm picking my hardware based around the software that I want to use. So, hello, John Mack. I see you sneak in here. For those of you guys who have tuned in a little later, the winner of our contest was Tyler Tao out of Charleston, South Carolina. So, sorry to you guys that didn't win. I wish I had more to give away. I'd love to give away a month subscription to Rhino Reel to each and every one of you. But I can't. So go to rhinoreel.com and sign up. At least give it a month's try. You get two 3/4 rolls, three-quarter kilo rolls of PLA, and you can either choose the colors or you can choose the mystery filament, which I didn't. I did yellow and purple. I always have to try everybody's yellow. That's my thing, right? But I wanted some purple. So, and it's really nice. It's very nice printing filament. So, INC board will do what you want. So, good choice. I hope so. I hope so. Well, and again, I figure if Joseph Prussia is willing to put it in his printers, I'm willing to put it in mine. Is you know, a big thing. And I love the changes they made to the INC board. I think I'm saying that right. Some people say it INC. I don't know. Either one. But I like the changes they made to that board over the old one, with the better screw terminals and stuff. So, I was ready with another spool, but the print finished. Yay! Excellent. Within 16 millimeters of filament. That's always fun. A little bit of anxiety when you get to that point. So. Bondtech, I think, is the way to go. I love mine. Well, and as I understand, that printer will pull itself off of the table before it lets go of that filament. So, it's definitely the way I'm leaning. But again, yeah, I didn't want to say it again and then tell people to not listen to what I'm saying. I may have another option. I don't know. But as of right now, it's probably going to be Bondtech. And that Bondtech, the Bondtech and the INC board will both be coming from Printed Solid. Matt offered me a discounted price, and I want to support them anyway. So I think that's a good place to get it. Wow, I'm way behind. I'm like way up in the chat. So I have CRS, so I already forgot what you said. What are you whispering? You can talk out loud. No, had to change all the plugs, so not switching back too much soldering for me. Yeah, that's like I said, you know, it seems like in your head you're like, it's easy, but my wife is recovering fabulously from her knee replacement. She already giving up the walker. That is awesome. Yeah, that surgery has come a long way. A girl I dated in high school had her knee replaced way back then, and that technology has come a long, long, long way. So I'm just trying to catch up. John Hammond, we spared no expense. So INC runs Marlin? Yes. Laser Eye Xander.
I will find you.
I got my new stepper at Jameco website. I've bought stuff from Jameco. When I reached out on Twitter and asked like who makes good steppers, I mean, I know you can order them through like Masumi and stuff, but like there's got to be like that name in steppers. Like there's got to be, and I did run across one company that's supposed to be like the almighty stepper, but I'm not sure. But you know, like when you go to buy cotton swabs for your ears, Q-tip is the name, you know, like, and I figure there's got to be that one company that makes like the best steppers, and then there's got to be somebody that makes them for everybody else, you know, and it's not that, I mean, every printer I own has Chinese steppers on it. Well, I don't know where the Prusa ones come from, but it was actually Open Builds that replied and said, they said, we feel a little biased in saying this, but we believe our steppers are the best. So I may actually give them a go. I want to reach out to them and see if I can get some kind of a package discount, and it may not be possible, but I'm going to be buying a lot of stuff from them. So, and hopefully then everybody else will be buying a lot of stuff from them too, because I want everybody to build one of these. Eensy weensy spider. INC board is the board on the MK3. The one on the MK3 is different though. If you order a board from Ultimachine for your MK3, you have to tell them that it's for the MK3. They do something, I don't know if it's the bootloader is different or what, but there is something different about it. So I don't know if maybe it's got a little bit more RAM for the firmware. Xander, what you're doing there, I see it. Uncle Ron says hi. She said hi, Uncle Ron. She won't talk loud enough where you can hear her.
Yeah.
John Mack said something that was so over the top he had to retract his message.
It was happy birthday, Keller. Happy birthday!
Oh, maybe Ken didn't want anybody to know. Ooh. Oh, Robbie Mack said it too. So happy birthday, Ken Keller. He is here, by the way. He's right here.
Yeah.
Happy Ron had a stepper he suggested. I'll look for the ones he said, probably Open Build. Well, and somebody else told me the ones from Ziltech are good as well. So one of my criteria that I was looking for was I wanted the ones with the connector on the motor. I didn't want the wires hardwired into the motor. I wanted to be able to unplug them, so should a motor go bad, I'd be able to unplug it. But I've just decided that I'm putting plugs on everything anyway, because like my extruder, you're going to be able to take the whole extruder assembly off and swap it with a different one. So you could have one for 1.75 and one for 3.0. One of my machines is a Wanhao i3 Plus. If I print something that goes into the far back left corner of the bed, I get layer separation in that corner of the part at around 20 millimeters for 3 millimeters, then fine. Wow, that's weird. Have you put a straight... You put a straight edge on the bed, because I mean I could see within 3 millimeters it could compensate itself. But have you run a straight edge across diagonally on the bed to make sure that you don't have a corner that's lifted or drooped? Robbie Mack said, "Oops, sorry." Bootloader was indeed made special for the Prusa just so that they have a little more space for their firmware, but the hardware itself should be the same. Okay, yeah, I didn't figure that the board itself was different. I just know that, well, Walter was playing with the Prusa firmware to try to put it on a different printer, on the printer that he built. Not the printed one, I don't think. I think it was the aluminum one. But it was a little too fat for the board, and that must be what it is. So, nope, they have two. One uses 5-volt fans. The other one uses 12, 24-volt fans, whatever you use for power supply. Oh, are you sure about that, Tom? Because I looked, and I've only seen the ones with the 5-volt fans. The 5-volt fans? No, maybe it was the 12-volt. I don't know. I'll look into it again. I'll just reach out to Matt at Printed Solid. He'll tell me. I like my Zyltech motors. Zyltech motors. John from You Do It is a sponsor of Ken Keller's birthday. I don't know what that means, but awesome. I don't know if I've ever had a sponsor for my birthday before.
It's Matt.
Matt from You Do It.
Yeah. Eesh.
Can you turn around and sit in your chair like a normal human being, please?
But I'm not
normal. Take a look at what Inside the Mind of Matt did with his Piper build. As far as what, Rover? You're talking about parts. I should make that blanket statement as well. I am not copying. Not that I wouldn't like look at Matt's and say, oh, well, he used these steppers, but I just wanted to be known that my intentions was to build this printer without copying anybody else's design. I didn't research design techniques. I didn't anything like that. I spewed it out of my own brain. So if it doesn't work, it's my own fault. And if it's awesome, it's my own fault. So, glass bed on thermal squares with BL Touch. Yeah, but even with a glass bed, you can still get warping. Glass is a liquid. You heat it up, you'll still warp it. So I would get it up to temperature and lay a straight edge across there, because you could have one dip, one bubble. I would just be curious to see how it comes out. I'm waiting on a mini laser engraver from GearBest, and while waiting, I'm seriously considering wanting to modify the AM8 printer to have a swappable head to change from printing to engraving modes. I've thought about that too, but I would never do it. I'd swap it one way and I'd never change it again. For connector. Yeah, no, the connectors aren't really the issue. They're easy enough to come up with. You Do It, you paying for his birthday dinner. That's the sponsorship. Oh. Yep, the legacy board for the INC uses power supply voltage, but they did that for that mod knockoff printers. All right, well, thank you for that. I'll look into that, because you can't get a 24-volt Noctua fan, and I definitely want one of those for my hot end fan. So I missed. Are you using ball screw, lead screws, or four start? I looked into the ball screw. They are so overly expensive. I can't see the benefit in paying, $50, $60, $100. Well, it would be almost $100 because they have to be 650 millimeters long. So no, they'll just be a 4-star lead screw. If I was using them to run one of the Axis or a couple of the, it would be different. But just for the Z, I think the 4-star is enough. And again, I'm not trying to do it as cheaply as possible, but I'm also not trying to spend stupid money, because this thing's going to get expensive fast. And I say that with my wife in the room. So that was from when we put the You Do It sticker on our stream. Oh. How was your Father's Day, Glenn? When was Father's Day? Nah, I'm just
I
kidding.
don't
We
remember.
went to a place a little bit north of here, about an hour and a half north of here, and I'm not going to advertise where it was. And went shark's tooth hunting. So it was really cool. I took my kids into the woods and we dug in the mud. I mean, we didn't dig because you're not allowed to do that. We stood staring at the mud until we found shark's teeth. It was cool. 3D Gusner's in the house. MK3 has Noctua and blower fan 5 volt. Yeah, 5 volt I don't think was the problem. 24 volt was the problem. But the MK3 now also has black Noctua fans. And I think at this point they're the only ones that can get those. So, not normal, got that right. Overrun said you're not normal.
Thanks.
MK2 uses 12 volt fans. Yes, that is definitely true. But they also use the what is it? The Rambo Mini board.
I don't know.
Multiple panes of glass. Same issue with glass turned 180 degrees. That is definitely an interesting situation. And it's only in the one corner, huh? Matt used a 25 pin connector to go from printer to box. Old 25. A serial connector. Interesting. Contact Ulti Machine directly. They are great at answering questions on the INC board. Boom, and there we have it. Glenn responds with exactly my main concern for a swappable system. So maybe just build a third frame for the engraver itself. Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. You know, through the years, I've looked at like the Shopsmith machines. That it's a lathe and a drill press and a. So you're printing something. You're like, oh, I want to engrave something. So then you got to wait, and then you got to swap all the parts over. And every time you swap those parts over, you're knocking it a little bit out of tolerance and stuff. I can't see changing stuff. I would rather build a machine that's made solely for that purpose. Now, with that said, I am working on the MPCNC machine, and I do have the intentions of putting a laser head on that. But I don't know. We'll see how that goes. So, but I mean, I don't know. So, Adventures in 3D Printing said, meow. Hurry up, meow.
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 License and registration, meow. Do I look like a cat to you? Am I all nimbly bimbly jumping from tree to tree? Do you see me drinking milk from a saucer?
Meow.
Get a better board than an 8-bit INC. Okay, so I've actually had this discussion multiple times. Sell me on it. Because as I understand it, the 32-bit boards are fantastic for deltas, but aren't really necessary for an FDM printer. But I'm not sold on that. I mean, if you can tell me otherwise.
It gives
and what
free
I want,
candy. Sold.
what I want is a board that runs Marlin firmware. So I am absolutely open to suggestion. Brianna, I need to log out, says, hey, that is a that is an awesome username. I need to have the term I need to log out in my Twitter handle. Tom says, I have both the Duet and the INC. I will take the INC over the Duet generally. Both are well built, and the INC is way better structure. Well, and you know, there was something else about the Duet too, and you guys have to remember, I've been working on this now for months. This started way back in March, and every once in a while I'm like, why was it that I didn't consider the INC? I mean, other than the firmware. And I went in, and I can tell you right now, I'd have to go in and look, but there was another reason that I shied away from the Duet board. I think I just said INC, but the Duet board. I'm as of right now, INC is the way I'm going, unless you can sell me on something else. I'm absolutely open to suggestions. So my next plan is pull the bed down to the Y rods and check them in the right front. Oh, that's a good thought. That's a good thought as well. Yeah, it could be something that's, I mean, it's not the bed, something that runs the bed. Like maybe the whole thing is tilting up or tilting down. Even if you grabbed your Y, I don't know what printer this is, but if you grab your Y rods and twisted them 180 degrees out and see if the problem changes. Or even 90 degrees, I guess, because if it's bent down, it would then be bent to the side. So that would be interesting. And don't forget, like Nightbot says, if you're looking for us elsewhere, we are FunKing3D pretty much everywhere. We are on Facebook at FunKing3D, but I really hate Facebook, so we try not to use it. So
just don't go.
All right, so how long have we been running this? An hour and 17 minutes. I think we're gonna wrap it up. Yeah, well, he doesn't sit up in his chair anymore, so I'm not gonna invite him to these live streams anymore. See what you people do? You bore my kid. He's so bored. Actually, he's the only one that hasn't been going to sleep early and sleeping in late to try to make up for all the sleep that we lost on vacation. It was an awesome vacation, but wow, we did not sleep. His bed at the Airbnb was probably better than mine. My wife and I slept on a waterbed that had lumps. It had high and low spots, and I'm still not sure how that works.
What?
It's not physically possible, but it had air bubbles in it and stuff. It was an awful bed. Yes, I've had bent rods that turn 90 degrees, fix the issues. I'm keeping up with our peoples. I don't like the power of the hookups. I don't like the power of the hookups on the Duet, loose and sloppy. Well, and that's one of the biggest problems with the boards is that they don't do good connections on them. So you realize that you have a microphone on,
I know,
and when you whisper, it still goes.
I put the mic like this.
That doesn't work.
Oh, okay.
Think about when my batteries went dead. Your mic picked me up.
Oh, you heard nothing.
Ella and my mom. Oh, it's that Brianna. It's the Brianna.
Oh!
Priscilla says hi. She still won't come on the camera, but because she said Ella and my mom say they miss you guys. And I'm like, Ella and my mom. And then, like, all of a sudden it clicked on who that was. So, wow. You're not supposed to be grown up enough to be on YouTube yet.
I'm on YouTube.
Yeah, but you have supervision.
Oh, okay.
I know. Yes, it is. If the baffle has a problem in the waterbed. Yeah, I don't know. It was really weird, Ken. It was really weird. Can be, but we see Prusa struggling getting their firmware on the INC. Even with extra flash, it compiles at around 96%, which causes strange behavior. And that is agreeable, but Prusa's firmware has also got a lot of extra stuff in it. So, I mean, future proofing, I could see being afraid of that, but for $100 board, if a year from now the board doesn't handle the current version of Marlin, I would have no problem chucking it and putting a different board on it. So, but again, I am open to suggestions. I am 99% locked into using Marlin firmware. If that helps. So let's take a Twitter vote right now on whether I should drop Xander from the channel.
Go ahead. Honestly, go ahead. I know what's going to happen. Go ahead.
They'd be like, no, this is Xander's channel.
Yeah, I'm 75%.
Xander's supervised by the bigger kid. That's true. Well, Shane came back just in time for us to get out of here. Jave Pan, I don't know if I've ever seen you in here before, but hello. Welcome for being here. Jello bed. That's almost what it was like, Ron. Maybe it had like ice cubes floating in it, and they were like, but I guess that's like what Ken was saying, you know, if the baffle, like maybe they had the foam baffles in there and they were all chunked up in one spot. It was awful. It was an awful bed. But what was really cool about the Airbnb house was Uncle Ron and Walter and his wife their rooms shared a bathroom on the opposite side of the upstairs, and their toilet was directly in front of a door that when you opened the door, it went out onto the balcony. So like you could be like sitting in there copping a squat, and you could open. Is that not a proper term to use? Dropping a deuce? Taking the Browns to the Super Bowl? Okay. But you could open the door and you were sitting on the throne directly across from this door, overlooking this vast field. It was pretty exciting. Xander, who? Uncle Ron said to drop you from the roof. Arkham is 32.
I'm not a cat, Mom.
Wait. I'm. If you go duet, you can make it a huge tool changer later. But duet doesn't run Marlin. I want Marlin. Ultimate Machine did release a 32-bit full-size Rambo board, I believe, that runs Marlin 2.0. Arkham is 32. All right, see, now I got to start making notes. You guys are supposed to email me this stuff. Whose pen am I writing with? Philibot. What?
Extruding. Extruding.
Oh, if you're if you're extruding, yes, if you're extruding in the upstairs bathroom, you can open up the door. Use the software which you know, Glenn, then you don't need to learn something new. Oh no, I'll never go that way because I like to learn something new every day. I don't know. I'm a supporter of Scott's. I support Scott on Patreon, and I like what he produces, and it runs on almost every one of my printers here. That's kind of why I keep leaning that way. But I identify with Xander tonight. I'm also yawning my way through this evening. Great. Well, I'm glad that we're not entertaining enough for you, Patrick. Scene 0. Use of the 32-bit over 8-bit on my boards. There isn't an advantage on standard cart printers. Cartesian. My thought on the 32-bit is future-proofing, but from what I understand, it doesn't. There's no benefit to it on a standard. Taking the Browns to the Super Bowl. Absolutely. Well, there's a couple more that I won't say because they're pretty bad, but
oh God.
Totally picked the right time to come into the video feed. Well, you know, our streams either seem to end up talking about death or pooping, so you know, at least it's pooping this time. Just go to Ultimate Machine and read /ask them. Xander still has to design and print a quadcopter frame. That is true. His mom and I were actually talking yesterday. Was it yesterday? That he needs to spend a little bit more time with Tinkercad. I think a big issue is you know, he designed his rocket, and then everybody was like, learn Fusion, and I think that was overwhelming. So
yes, Fusion sucks.
No, Fusion is amazing. It's just overwhelming. So, but I think that he needs to. I think that he needs to just kind of back it down and just kind of stick with Tinkercad. I mean, Chuck Hellebuck from Chep, Filament Friday, does everything that he does through Tinkercad. So,
because Tinkercad is cool.
Yeah. Marlin 2.0 supports SAM32 controller, like the ESP32 controller, but it is in development at this moment. Yeah, I can't wait. This printer has to be ready by the beginning of November so that I can go to Orlando Maker Faire. For those of you guys who don't know, I ran my mouth last year about Orlando Maker Faire not having enough 3D printing stuff or any at all, and then I got called out on it and was told to put up or shut up and come to Gainesville's Mini Maker Faire and exhibit. So we did, and it was fun.
Gainesville Mini.
No, it was a Mini Maker Faire. And then
small.
It was small, but next year it'll be bigger. Give them a break. And then Ian, who runs the Orlando Maker Faire, was there, and so yeah, so we're going to be exhibiting at Orlando Maker Faire this year. I need more support on Patreon. Only Cat is there. Oh, we all need more support on Patreon, Don. You gotta build an empire. You gotta have the people, and then the people will follow your Patreon. I promise it won't come the other way. It will not come Patreon before the following. You gotta build the following, and then you'll get the Patreon, I promise. Dropping a stink pickle. Oh, this stream is going off the rails. And a robot without feet. Stay with what you know, Xander. Heck, I took 4 years of CAD design. I can run Fusion like a pro, and I still love Tinkercad. No shame in using it. Well, I don't even think it was so much of. I feel where you're coming from, but I don't think it was so much of a shame thing. It was just like everybody was so excited about his rocket, and then he was excited that everybody was excited about his rocket, and then it was like, learn Fusion, and I hadn't even learned Fusion, and so we were going to take it on together, and as you've seen, I'm doing all my design in Rhino because that's what I've been using for over 20 years. So all good things start small. That is true, Brianna. That is very true. Stick with Tinkercad. I mean, stick with Tinkercad. No rush. You can do extra stuff exporting out vector art as SVG and import, then extrude in Tinkercad to get funky shapes too. Wow, that's already more than... He's just saying do it. Just stick with Tinkercad. They want you to come up with something new. Your models are stale now. Time for something fresh.
I tried, but it didn't work out so well.
Over 2,600 subs now, which is awesome, but you got to start working with those subs. Yeah, Rhino works fine if you are used to it. Well, and I mean, I learned it because of plans that I bought to build a boat, and I'm self-taught. I learned it myself, and through the process of designing the FK1 printer, I learned some things I didn't know it could do. So I like it. It's probably where I'm going to stay. Joel made a comment to me one time about when I told him I used Rhino, he goes, "Oh, wow, Rhino, why would you do that to yourself?" And I'm like, I can whiz through Rhino so much faster than I can with Fusion. And I actually, when I originally started to design the FK1, I thought, well, I'm going to learn Fusion at the same time, and that was a terrible idea. So I designed it all in Rhino. So
make a fun king bobblehead.
Hey Glenn, can you help me with my printer over email? Very possibly. Very possibly. Not obviously not at this exact second, but yes, I'm more than willing to give you as much knowledge as I have. Dropping the kids off at the pool is my preferred method of saying I'm extruding. Making a Fun King bobblehead. It's funny, I bought the springs to do that, and I never have. I've never done it. Fusion does have a learning curve, as most CAD does. Most CAD programs, definitely. The biggest complaint I have in Tinkercad, well, let's just punch it up so that you can see what I'm talking about. In Rhino, if I put my cursor here and I zoom out, it zooms out there. And then if I put my cursor here and zoom in, it zooms in there. Which is a feature that I use heavily. Tinkercad does not do that. And it drives me insane. It's so funny the amount of delay. I'm now watching ourselves zoom in and out. So, looking at your shelf, every time you go to a show, your shelf goes on a diet. Well, it's just time. It's a good time to clean the shelf off. So, and this time we went to a show with, came back with less stuff than we went with. We gave a lot of stuff away that I probably shouldn't have, but I'll tell you guys right now, if you ever exhibit, don't bring 3D printed objects that you absolutely don't want to get rid of, because somebody will ask you for everything you have on your table. And it's hard to tell people no. Be right back. I'm prairie dogging now. You could take a phone with you. You don't have to leave us. Heading out nap time. Well, have a good nap, Rover. Last year I used an ancient milk-shaped 3D CAD software. One day I realized that the last update was 8 years ago, and even web apps are better. Oh, yeah, I guess that could happen. Yeah, that would suck to like find something you're like, oh, I like this, and you get used to using it, and then you realize that they don't even update it anymore. Xander, wake up! No, you have to say, oh, poor little guy tuckered himself out working on his project. I actually woke him up from bed the other day doing that. What's the matter, buddy? Did you have a nightmare? Do you calculate the mass of the huge bed with the print? Do the NEMA 17s can hold them? That is a very valid question, Gusner, and one that James from Print and Play asked me, and that is why it now has a stationary bed. Let me pull that back up because I forgot. You came in a little bit later and didn't get to see this monstrosity. That bed is fixed.
They can't see it.
That bed is fixed. So this frame right here, which is the X and the Y axis, and it runs on the Z, but that bed does not move.
Ow. You
guys just missed. I just smacked him. So, but yeah, that's a 16-pound mix 6 cast aluminum plate for the bed. And James asked me that same thing, if I had considered the weight of the print on there as well, which I had not. And so, yeah, there you go. Sorry, I didn't realize that you had. I'm behind a few lines, so. But Robbie has a smellophone. Yeah, Sanjay really wanted the Poly Pang. Unfortunately, he wouldn't trade it for the tool changer. No, I can't imagine he'd come off that tool changer too easy. So you're moving the hot end in all axes. He was probably dreaming about being a cat. Oh, how are we going to call this movement system? The Fun King movement system? I don't know. Yeah, because it's not a Core XY. It's a Core FK. I don't know. Uncle Ron, great idea. Scratch and sniff app. We missed it. Do it again, please. You missed what? You can't just say you missed it because I don't know what it is. Do it again. Do what again? What are we doing again? Oh, me hitting you. Xander and I were, when he was little, I don't even know how old he was, maybe 3. We used to do this thing, like he would come up, Core FK accepted. He would come up to me and slap me in the face, and then I'd slap him back, and he's like, just playing around. But we would both, like our faces would be swollen red and stuff. And I mean, like we would just laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh. So yeah, I was abusing my kid, but he liked it. You know, like fingerprints. I thought, oh, I'm gonna get in trouble for doing this. He was such a fun baby. Even into his toddler, he was so much fun. So, how about Fun King Squirrel Cage? King Crossing System? Yeah, I don't know. I just hope it works, and then I want to see other people build them too. And it's scalable. It's completely scalable. If you don't want a 48-inch wide printer and you wanted to do a 16 by 16, you know, a 400 by 400, I mean, I'm sure it could even go smaller. You would just have to scale everything appropriately, and it wouldn't be a problem. If you wanted to go bigger, I'm sure it could go bigger. I think I would go larger than 2040 aluminum if you got too much bigger. So, how do you heat the bed? Propane heaters? Well, that's a great idea. Why didn't I think about natural gas? No, there's a guy, I found him on AliExpress that's going to make me a 110 volt, because we're 110 here in the US, 110 volt heater. It's a silicone, 110 volt silicone heater. But my intention, Castle Drive system, that's pretty awesome. My intention is to build the printer and print with it before I buy the heater. So I'll just print PLA in the beginning, because everything on that printer would be reusable or whatever for something else should it not work. Like I would be able to rework the parts. If for whatever reason that 400 by 1200 bed doesn't work, that printer or that heater would be done. I mean, I can cut that bed down into smaller beds, but I can't cut the heater down. So I'm gonna wait. It's $130 shipped from China. So I'm gonna wait until the whole printer is built and is actually laying filament down, and then I'll order the heater and install it. So yeah, so we're gonna have to write all these down. King Crossing system, Castle Drive system, the White Castle printer system.
Does it give us White Castle?
Well, White Castle makes you extrude.
You're not wrong.
Why would it not work? I don't know. Again, I'm very smart, but there's a lot smarter people out there than me. And there's very possibly a reason that nobody has ever done a design like this one. Either nobody thought of it, which is what I hope, or it just doesn't work. I mean, whatever. So, but I've never done, which I am, again, I'm going to do it on the AM8, the auto bed leveling sensor. Like I've never played with that. So that's going to be new to me, you know, and then it's like I didn't take something that was proven and turn it into something else. This is all ground up out of my brain. So, and that could be taken either way, ground up or, you know, ground up. It works either way. Peasant driven system. Oh, I should make it pedal power. Pedal, you peasant. Get a cooking barbecue plate. Yeah, I know what you're saying, like a skillet, like a skillet plate. The Olean grenade, that's back there, above my head, right there. Call this lifting system. You assemble it using royalty nuts. Royalty. Oh, we didn't get a picture of that. We were on our way to lunch today, and a veterinarian in the area on their marquee, it said, "Remove the nuts from your mutts." No, Donna has not arrived because it's still sitting on my counter. But I have to fill out the customs paperwork, and then it'll be off. And hopefully this time actually get there. And place the printer above it. Yeah, I'll build the printer right on top of my barbecue. And then it can be two things in one. Glenn gets royalties from all future builders. Royalties? No, I gotta admit, when I first started doing this, I thought, I would sell the STL files, and I might still, but it'll be really cheap. But I thought, if I did the bill of materials, the STL files, and the instruction manual, and sold it for X dollars or whatever to support the channel, that would be awesome. But then I thought, no, I just want to put it out. I want to put it out in the world. But I don't know. Maybe if I do it like $1 donation gets you the files. I don't know. And maybe it's not even about the dollar. Maybe it's all just more about everybody building one and being happy with it. Rennie said, I need to DM you. Absolutely, you can. There's no problem with that. You also have my email if you like. Be sure to write gift on. Oh, absolutely. No, I'm going to write that it's got a $10 million value so that you can pay the... no, I'm just kidding. I'm not even going to tell them what's in it. Are you kidding? I'm telling them it's books.
I don't even know what's in it.
On the barbecue, you can do a pizza printer. Yeah, you could cook on this level, but then the heat coming up is heating the bed. It'd be kind of hard to maintain your temperature, though. I'd have to like make a valve that's controllable by the main board to vary the gas, which could then cause problems with your food. Is that over the top? Mm-hmm.
What did you say?
Yeah, see, he doesn't even listen.
I'm
So.
tired.
All right, well, if there's no final questions, comments, concerns, I really do believe that we should wrap this up because I was going to do it at 1 hour and 17 minutes, and that was a half an hour ago. Xander's over here all falling asleep. So he played video games all day yesterday, so he was a jerk today. Jerk.
Ow, ow.
You got anything to tell the people?
No.
What are you working on right now?
Nothing.
Working on coming up on 1 year. And again, for those of you guys that didn't catch that. No, I'm only kidding, Don. I wouldn't do that. Xander is quickly approaching the 1 year mark for Xander's Thing Thursday. We have filmed all the way through 51 weeks, but we think that week 52 should be something special. So if you have any suggestions on a really cool model or whatever, I would love to do like a big celebration and give stuff away, but I don't think that's going to happen. But you can email that to me at Glenn with 2 N's at funking3d.com. Patrick, I am not printing a piece for the 3D Maker new mural, just because of time. Is the only reason I didn't. Yeah, if you'll email me any suggestions for Xander's, I was going to say final, but 52nd week, it's not his final. He's going to keep doing it. I think everybody would be sad if you stopped. So I am actually going to start filming now for the FK1 project, so there will be content coming out on it.
Thing 279991.
As of right now, I have been doing. I'm going to give you mod rights, John. I've been doing everything in the background, like super secret, and supersized Fun King rolling sticky thing. Supersized. I think you have to like do 2 hands to. But yeah, everything has been being done secretly in the background. Now that it's public, I want to actually start getting some content rolled out. Jokingly in my own head, I said that maybe I would do FK1 Fridays, but I don't know if it's going to actually work out that way. I'm thinking maybe Tech Tuesdays. Being that we already have something coming out on. Oh, John, that number.
Oh, that's weird.
That number 404.
There's a lot of
404.
weird stuff.
404. I might not have put that in right.
Yes. Yes, we have reached the end of Thingiverse.
Actually.
Oh.
I'm just trying to look up the thing that John posted here on Mac.
Oh, I actually seen one of those. One of these things.
Oh yeah, lots of people print that.
Yeah. Really cool.
Trying to do this on a half a screen and it's not really working. Yeah, that's how I put it in. No,
Yeah.
John Mac, that link 404 came up with a 404. 404 sounds weird, but yeah, it came up with a 404. So, but anyway, all right, Tom's out. Vertical windmill helix vase mode. All right, I will search that. But I would really prefer that you guys send me the suggestions via email because I won't be able to keep track of it here in the chat. What are you whispering about? Well, don't read out loud then. It's distracting. Well, that's pretty cool.
I think that would be hard
I will
to
look
print.
into that. So
I think that would be hard to print.
Good news, my grandson has not yet broken the Xander rocket. This is a record since he's broken about a dozen printed rockets prior to this. Good solid design. Well, it's funny because there's a gentleman named Joel, not Joel the 3D printing nerd, but a different Joel who we met at IRF, who bought a 3D printer, has printed it 3 times and broke it 3 times, taking it off the heat bed. So
May you rest in peace, Rocket.
yeah. So, but anyway, yeah, I will look into that. That's a pretty cool model. So FK1 Friday on Fridays opposite the no, it would be something. It wouldn't be a live stream. It would just be a video that I release. I want to release a video every week about what I'm doing, almost like a vlog. Just to kind of talk about what's going on, where I'm standing, how it's coming. Somebody in our last stream had asked about a wish list for parts, which I will post. I've bought a lot of the parts already, except for all like the really expensive stuff. So it feels kind of weird only giving you guys a list of the expensive stuff, but we'll work through that. So you can watch for Thursdays for Xander's Thing Thursdays. Watch his hair be long then short, then long then short. Who knows? It's a crapshoot. You never know. But there is a couple of good ones coming up. The one I edited yesterday, which doesn't come out until like 3 or 4 weeks from now, but it's got a little something special editing wise that I put in there, which was fun. It doesn't make fun of Xander this time, which is unfortunate. I usually like to just make fun of him. So for me, it's always the same stuff. I really want to start printing the R2D2 project, but the FK1 has absolutely taken precedence over that. So unfortunately, I think that's going to take precedence. It'll make printing the R2D2 so much easier to be able to print, you know, like the legs all in one piece. So that'll be amazing. Chia Pet Xander. Chia. Chia Xander, as seen on TV. Do you not know what a Chia Pet is?
No.
That's a sad day. I'm going to buy you a Chia Pet.
Please don't.
I'll get you a Chia Trump.
Please don't.
You can have Trump head and grow Chia hair on it.
That does not sound nice.
But yeah, so I think that we are going to kind of back burner the R2 until the FK1 is done. But I am still working on the MPCNC. I have a few more parts to print for it, but that's almost fully printed, and then it's just a matter of acquiring all the electronics and bearings, a crap ton of bearings for that thing. The pipe for it's pretty cheap, so print a full-size Xander bot. No, I don't want anything that's that hard to print. I don't need something that takes up all my free time. I watch some people and they do these amazing prints and stuff, but it's like, they take a month to do it. We have to print multiple stuff every week. So, no, it was our fault. We chose to do it, but we just need more reliable printers. So it won't be a Robo D2. The bulk of it will be Robo D2. Just anything that's massively large. I mean, if I can get away with printing like the legs all in one piece, I'd be crazy not to. So it'd be much stronger, less finishing on it and stuff. So, but that's going to do it for those who missed it. The Rhino Reel 1 month subscription went to Tyler Tao, T-A-O, out of Charleston, South Carolina. If you didn't win and you're very sad and you still want to get a Rhino Reel subscription, it's was it $39.99, which includes the shipping, and you get these 2 amazing refill rolls of filament, and then you can print your own spool, or you can buy their spool. They'll sell you a spool if you want to buy one. It also works with the master spool. So if you already have a master spool, what I like about this particular spool is it's the same on both sides. So if you print a bunch of them, you don't have to try to figure out which one's left, which one's right. You can just grab 2, slap them together, got a spool. Pretty cool. Nothing against the master spool. I haven't printed one yet, but it's cool. It's cool. But that's at rhinoreel.com if I didn't say that. What else is going on? If you don't get MakerBox, get a MakerBox. These are all free plugs because we don't get paid for this.
Yeah.
If you're looking for some other good quality filament, IC3D. You know, sorry,
ow.
IC3D filament. It's really good stuff. That's IC3Dprinters.com. They just released their PETG line, and I can't say enough nice stuff about their PETG. The stuff is like just ridiculously strong. I printed a 5mm thick plate with a 40% infill, and I am not strong enough to bend it. There was another brand, and I won't mention any names, but I was actually able to flex it in until it gave enough. But the IC3D stuff I have yet to be able to, and there's going to be a video coming on that because I'm going to print some stuff and crush it in my 20-ton hydraulic press. Not for any scientific reasons, but just because I think it'll be awesome. Anything else? No. Man of few words. You don't want to say like thanks everybody and thanks for tuning in. Thanks to all you guys that entered our contest and followed along with the subscribing to everybody, subscribing to us and subscribing to Rhino Reel. I don't know how much stuff they're gonna have on their Facebook or on their YouTube page, but it's out there, and now you guys can all be subscribed. Brianna, you need to give a big hug to your mom for Gracilla. Anything else? Thanks everybody for being here. Did I say that already?
Yes, 10 times.
Okay, thanks everybody for being here.
11.
All right. We went almost 2 hours. This will be one of our shorter streams, and it's pretty awesome. Xander said, how long is this stream going to be? And I said, I want it to be short, but who knows? So congratulations to Tyler again, and I will be reaching out to him very, very soon. I need to log out even and see when Zach is on. Oh yeah, Zach's a funny guy. So, all right, that's it. Yep. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Thanks everybody, and as always, oh I forgot if you like what we're doing, hit the subscribe button, click the bell for notifications. A thumbs up is always appreciated. Like Zach always. He didn't even come on today. No. And as always, print on.